disdain from Larry Bird as Reggie Miller goes by. Miller 3 of 17 tonight, has not scored in the fourth quarter. The Pacers and Miller have seen their championship hopes end in the Eastern Conference Finals before. 1994 Knicks and Patrick Ewing edged them in Game 7 here at the Garden. The following season, Indiana went to 7 games again, only to lose to a then up-and-coming Orlando Magic team. Then last season, like so many others, they fell to Michael Jordan in what would be the final title run of the Chicago Bulls dynasty, yet again in 7 games.
Now you got 2 incredible legends, Reggie Miller, Karl Malone, both this year, thinking they had their chance. So far denied.
Jalen Rose. Let's see if he gets the continuation.
Pavetta says yes, absolutely.
Yes, basket counts. Jalen Rose with a chance for a three-point play.
What they do is guard nobody. They let him go down the lane. And in this situation, you want the opposition to use the entire 24 seconds. There was 31.1 seconds to go, and they only used 3 seconds to get the score, so they're still in the ball game. And Van Gundy, you know, he doesn't have much hair. He could lose it all before the night is over.
He's on his knees over there right now, Van Gundy.
So they've got a 5-point advantage. Rose looking to make it a 4-point game. Indiana, after the free throw, is going to gamble, and they're going to try to steal the ball, stop the clock.
We got Perkins in right now.
Childs gets it to Sprewell.
That's a great move by Childs. Terrific decision-making. Sprewell is the guy. He's been iced at the line. The only one he missed at the end of the game last Game 5 was when he was calling the crowd out when they were chanting his name over in Market Square.
But remember, the Indiana Pacers still are full of quick-second heroics, and every time the Knicks have looked like they've got this thing won, suddenly they cut the lead in half.
Reggie's been here before. So Tom and I did the game when he had 8 points in 16 seconds. So he's just waiting, I guess.
And 4 points is not safe anymore, as we've seen from Larry Johnson. But here's Latrell Sprewell. The big question for the Knicks, or one of them anyway, that they had to answer this season: could Latrell Sprewell and Allen Houston play together? Well, tonight the answer is an emphatic yes. Sprewell with 19 points, Houston 32 points. They've combined for 51 of New York's 87.
And in Latrell Sprewell, they have a guy who can get to the free throw line and make it. And that is a huge edge in any era of the NBA basketball.
6-point lead with 25.9 seconds left. And Indiana about to face disappointment again. But what about the improbable New York Knicks? Remember, during the lockout, Patrick Ewing was one of the leaders of the Union and wasn't thinking much about basketball, was not in shape. Then the Camby deal was questioned. The fans and many of the people around the league thought it was a mistake to trade Charles Oakley for Marcus Camby. And his coach, Jeff Van Gundy, didn't believe in him, didn't play him much, said he was too soft, didn't work hard enough, and maybe was out of shape. Then Latrell Sprewell comes over with all the baggage he had. And then controversy about whether he should start or not, and he's saying he wanted to start. Ernie Grunfeld demoted as the general manager of the team. The team at one time was 21-21, dealing with the Grunfeld firing. And, of course, Van Gundy's job still at this moment in question. They had an unbelievable comeback down at Miami. I believe without Patrick Ewing, they were down 20. They came back to win. Next night went on the road, won again at Charlotte. Jeff Van Gundy says that's what turned them around. They still struggled, had to make the playoffs on the last day, as I recall. But then in the playoffs, it's been something else. This was the Miami comeback game, which proved to be now the turnaround point for this New York team. Late April, Knicks pulled off this huge comeback against the Heat, trailed by 20 in the third quarter. Larry Johnson, Marcus Camby, they came roaring back in the fourth. They won it by 2. Camby and Johnson each with 9 points in the fourth. Knicks scored on 11 of their last 13 to come away with a win. Then they had that other win in Charlotte we mentioned, and that seemed to be the turnaround point for this team. And then in the playoffs, Allen Houston bounces one twice, the rim, the backboard, and through to beat Miami on the road in Game 5. They waltzed through the Hawks. Then it took a Larry Johnson miracle 4-point play here at the Garden. Now we've come to this. It's the most improbable story ever in the NBA.
Tom, you covered it all, and you left out Larry Johnson's injury tonight.
And now they overcome the Larry Johnson injury in the second quarter. It is just astounding.
It is still a long way from over. Mullen comes in the ball game along with Jackson, Rose, Perkins, and Miller. They're looking for three. Miller got three, but they don't get him the ball. Got it now.
Miller for three. Childs the rebound.
They have to foul immediately. The Knicks have been terrific at the free throw line.
You know, as courageous as Reggie Miller has been, and as many big shots as he has made through his career, and here in the Garden, eventually it had to turn against him. He is 3 of 18 tonight, and there is no magic in that right arm today. And it's heartbreaking for him and all Pacer fans. And Chris Childs has been a terrific free thrower through the regular season, falling off a little bit in the playoffs, but they just want one from him now.
Where does this leave Larry Bird, though, as Mark Jackson sits and watches the crowd chanting Larry Bird? So much pressure, said at the start of this series that this was a